How would you feel if someone you didn't know was standing right beside your bed and saying, "Go to sleep"? Welcome to the first season and third episode of Mindful Progress A Journey. I wish you all a very good evening since this is the first week of June. In this podcast, we delve deep into the unsettling world of creepypasta and explore the origins, expansions, and controversies surrounding one of its most infamous characters, Jeff the Killer. Join us as we uncover the thrilling and chilling story behind Jeff's transformation into a ruthless serial killer and examine the fan created expansions that have captivated audiences around the world. As I've already mentioned in the previous episode, we will discuss him. If you haven't heard of the second episode, then I highly recommend it since it was really interesting, but the stories aren't connected, so yes, you can listen to it after this episode as well. Jeff the Killer. Jeff was a 13-year-old who moved to a new neighborhood with his brother named Liu and their parents. On their first day of school, they were accosted by three bullies named Randy, Kate, and Troy, whom Jeff brutally beat up after they threatened them with knives. Liu took the blame for it and was arrested, sending Jeff into a deep depression. The bullies later attacked Jeff again at a party and Jeff killed one of them, but not before getting covered in bleach and lit on fire by Kate, who was one of the bullies. During this fight, Jeff's mind permanently snapped. When Jeff woke up, he was at the hospital and his head was wrapped in bandages. When the bandages were taken off, it was revealed that his face had become disfigured and ghastly pale from the burns which he got during the fight, while his face was covered in bleach. He had bright red lips and a leathery texture after the burn, with ghastly pale looking face. Jeff said that he liked his face this way and laughed hysterically. But the doctor foolishly thought that this insanity was merely a side effect of the painkillers and let Jeff go home. Later that night, Jeff's mother found him carving his face into a permanent smile so that he would no longer have to exert energy to smile. As he put it, at burning off his eyelids so he could always see his face. I'm sorry if my voice sounds weird because I'm still sick, but anyways, moving on with the story. Jeff's mother went to her husband to tell him that their son had gone completely bad and needed to be killed. But Jeff caught them and stabbed them to death. This woke up Liu, his brother, who was recently released, with Jeff telling him as he was about to plunge the knife into his body, "Go to sleep." Jeff then went on the serial killing rampage, killing those who refused to sleep at night, and as the story continued, Jeffery made himself Jeff the Killer. The story has more depth and some spin-offs of fans also came out. One of the most notable ones being Jane the Killer, featured in a story titled Jane's Letter created by DeviantArt user Fear of the Black Wolf, a short story about a woman who views Jeff as her nemesis and kills those before he can, telling them, "Don't go to sleep, you'll never wake up." Although this creepypasta story was short, she became well liked among the creepypasta fan base and many created fan arts of her, and a full audiobook style written creepypasta was created with the two rivals encountering each other. Eventually a detailed backstory was written explaining the details of Jane's background and motivation for wanting Jeff killed. In this story, Jeff, when older, murdered the parents of Jade Richardson, causing Jade to become an immediate enemy of Jeff. Jane had sworn to hunt Jeff and murder him for doing the same to her parents. In another fan adaptation, in another fan adaptation, Jane the Killer, the real story. Jeff murdered Jane, Arkansas's entire family, friends, and as well as his own family. He lit her on fire by using bleach and gasoline, leaving her scarred and disfigured, thus the beginning of their rivalry. However, this particular version of Jane the Killer plagiarizes the character, such as changing her surname from Richardson to Arkansas, and the fan base took it as a canon, which displeased the creator of the character. Let me know in the socials if you want any of these stories to be covered in the future episodes. I will do my best to cover them and provide insights on them. Despite numerous stories, videos, and artwork, neither Jane Richardson or Jane Arkansas has a canonical connection to Jeff the Killer and are merely derivative works of Creepypasta community. There are many different ways in which fan content portrays Jeff the Killer and Slender Man, another famous entity of the Creepypasta community, in relation to each other. Most fan works depict Slender Man as mortal enemies on par with Jeff, showing off one another's skills. Depictions of Jeff typically show him going into combat with Slender Man using his knife, while Slender Man is typically shown using his tentacles. There are even some various fan works that depict Jeff the Killer as one of Slender Man's proxies, often painting Jeff's image as some kind of super proxy that was discovered by Slender Man shortly after murdering his family and escaping to the forest. However, many fans do not exactly approve of this particular fan work because they tend to argue instead that Jeff would be too insane to be controlled by Slender Man. Okay, Slender Man has piqued my interest. Next episode will be on Slender Man, hopefully. While all these concepts are non-canon to both Jeff the Killer and to the Slender Man mythos, it is nevertheless an immensely popular combination of the two in numerous fan artworks. Another popular expansion is Homicidal Liu, created by Defiant art user Vampire Note 13, a story about Jeff's brother Liu surviving his encounter with Jeff in the creepypasta and developing a split personality, becoming a serial killer himself and contemplating whether to get revenge on Jeff or spare him. The expansion also claims that Liu is the older brother, even though it was never stated in the actual creepypasta itself which sibling was the oldest. This expansion was also the origination of the last name Woods, as Liu is named Liu Woods in the expansion, even though the creator made the story as a what if scenario for a role-playing group and even acknowledged that Liu dying may have been canonical. A majority of the fanbase took her expansion as canon. On October 3rd, 2008, a YouTuber named Cesio uploaded a video called Jeff the Killer Original Story. This video came out before the famous creepypasta was even written. In the original video, the song I Guess You're Right by the Poses can be heard playing in the background. Cesio claims he is the one who created Jeff the Killer and that every internet story about Jeff the Killer is fake, including the famous creepypasta story. He claims Jeff never had an incident with bullies or bleach. Instead, he claims that Jeff was hauling a gallon of acid into his bathroom to clean out his bathtub but slipped on a bar of soap and the acid splashed all over his face and he was taken to the hospital when the neighbors heard his cries. And apparently in Caesar's original version of Jeff the Killer, Jeff never murdered Liu or his parents, and his full canon name is Jeffery C. Hodek, not Jeffrey Allen Woods. Here's a note to all the listeners. Killer Jeff's YouTube channel has been terminated due to his violations of YouTube's community guidelines, which took the video down with it. When questioned, his response was that his account was taken down due to the disbelief of him being the original creator of Jeff the Killer character. Fortunately, the video was re-uploaded by a YouTube user called Phenomenon Poltergeist. However, the original audio was not kept, which was the song I Guess You're Right by the Poses playing in the background for a majority of the video. Later on, YouTube user Bob's brother would come in to re-upload the video with its original audio. Because the 2011 Creepypasta story was criticized by many for its poor quality, and it was even protested that it should not have been allowed on the Creepypasta wiki for not meeting the actual required standards. Because of this, it was taken down from Creepypasta wiki a year later. However, users constantly re-uploaded it, objecting to the idea of it being taken down due to it being one of the most popular creepypastas at the time. So as you can see, the reason Jeff the Killer was taken down from Creepypasta, now this is a topic, this is the question we had in our previous episode, and it gets answered here. It is that it wasn't meeting the standard of Creepypasta website. That's why it was taken down. A pretty simple answer, but a logical one. And people were objecting against it. They were like, this creepypasta is very popular to be taken down and such that. In late 2014, the community finally decided that the story was banned from the Creepypasta wiki entirely and officially be moved to the spine-tingling wiki. However, the story was taken down there as well. The story can be found on the official Creepypasta website, Trollpasta wiki, now a closed wiki, and also Just the Kittens wiki, originally Jeff the Killer wiki, a wiki dedicated to all Jeff the Killer fandom stories, but later renamed for unknown reasons. So here, the story was taken down from Creepypasta, but later moved to Spin-Pasta wiki, and it was taken down there as well. The story can be, however, found on Creepypasta official website, which is Trollpasta wiki, now closed, so it's no longer online, and Just the Kittens wiki, originally Jeff the Killer wiki, which was a wiki dedicated to all Jeff the Killer fandom stories, but for some reason renamed later on, which is unknown. That's the thing said here. As a result of the Creepypasta being taken down from Creepypasta wiki, a competition was made to remake the story entirely and create something more realistic and frightening that could be featured on the wiki. Admin K banning Callum's story won first place. However, it had to be cut down to half its size due to the contest's word limit. The uncut version can be viewed on this Spin-Pasta wiki. The remake stays true to the original Creepypasta with the same characters, with Jeff and his family moving into a new neighborhood, as well as fight between Jeff and a trio of bullies. However, the result of Jeff's deformed face is different from the one in the original Creepypasta. Unlike the original Creepypasta, Jeff and Liu's ages are stated, with Jeff being 15 years old and Liu being 14 years old. However, this is only revealed in the uncut version of the remake. So the reason we didn't see any ages in the story we read before about Jeff the Killer at the start of the episode, it's because that was the cut version. And now the information we're reading is from the uncut version. K. Painkillers became proud of his remake, and soon after wiki user Kevin Tierney made a Jane the Killer adaptation to the remake, he decided to continue the creepypasta by making a sequel. Okay, K. Killiam is a name. The first time I read it, I was like, wait, who's K and why is that guy banning Killiam? But it's actually K. Killiam, it's a name. And he was proud of his remake. Soon after the wiki was uploaded, a user named Kevin Tierney made Chain the Killer adaptation to the remake, which he decided to continue the creepypasta by making a sequel, so that makes sense. Okay. Not many people know the true origin of the original Jeff the Killer image. Many people believe it was a photoshopped picture of a woman named Katie Robinson who allegedly committed suicide due to excessive cyberbullying after visiting 4chan/b/board around the year 2008. And it was believed for several years that the picture of the girl was apparently the now famous Jeff the Killer image. However, this claim is entirely false and has been debunked numerous times as there are no records of it actually happening. Around 2015, during an interview with YouTube user Scare Theater, the original creator of Jeff the Killer, Cecil claims that the Katie Robinson suicide is a bogus story and confirms that the image is actually a picture of himself wearing a white latex mask. However, what was even more strange is that this is also false, even though he did write the original story. So the creator of Jeff the Killer lied. So, firstly, many people believed that Katie Robinson is a person of Jeff the Killer face or picture, which we see on the Creepypasta website. She was cyberbullied and committed suicide after visiting 4chans/b/board. But this is false and it has been debunked. Now on 2015, Scared Theater YouTube channel, or it's a YouTube user, I'm not sure if that's the account name or the channel name, but apparently he's the original creator of Jeff the Killer. So Cesure, maybe the person behind Scared Theater username or channel name, claims that the Katie Robinson story, the person who committed suicide we were talking about just a second ago, is a fake story, and confirms that the image is actually a picture of himself wearing a white latex mask. But that is also fake, not true, that he wasn't wearing a latex mask. Even though he wrote the story, he lied about the picture. So even I'm not sure what's going on. Anyways, let's continue. So the Jeff image has been seen in places which date to 2005. It has been seen in a Japanese video published on YouTube on 2nd of August 2007 entitled NNN Temporary Broadcast. It's written in Japanese, but I translated it, which is apparently for a horror film project entitled Victims of Tomorrow or something to that effect, wherein a series of names and ages are listed. After Jeff's face appears for a split second, there is a text that says good night, which might be a precursor to go to sleep. The earliest confirmed sighting of the image was on 16 November 2005 on a Japanese message board named pya.cc, along with another image that Cesure also posted, where he claimed that the alternate version was his original design concept. Cesure's earliest known internet presence was on 14 August 2008, where he made a Newgrounds account called Killer Jeff, where he acted as if he were Jeff. The original Jeff the Killer video was uploaded on 3rd November 2008. The origins of the image and the subject it portrays are still unknown, as well as how it connects to Japan's internet culture. The most likely story is one that is unverifiable, In this version of the story posted by a few /b/users, the photograph is of a woman whose identity is currently unknown, although it is speculated that her name is Victoria. She streamed on the new defunct website StickM in 2005 and used /b/ as a means of promoting herself after the something awful forms started to become obsolete. One user took a screenshot of her face and posted it acting as if they were her, with the caption, "Am I pretty?" In a successive series of images photoshopped by different users, one said in response, "Now you are." After finding out about this series of events, the woman stopped streaming and vanished. 3 images of Jeff are nowadays generally accepted as being from the thread if it did occur. The famous one, the alternate version, as Sasur claimed it was, and a much more realistic, although lower resolution version building of the most famous version. There was a lot of thing. So I will summarize all of that again for the ease of you all. Now, I hope you guys already know the story. The story was pretty straightforward, but the origins of the picture made it a little bit complicated. So apparently, it is connected to Japan's internet culture somehow. Even they are not sure. Like from the place from where I got this whole story, right? Even they are not sure how it is connected, but many people don't believe it. Some people believe it. There was even the earliest sighting was on 2nd August 2007 on a YouTube video, a Japanese YouTube video, which was for a horror film project. There we can see Jeff's face, and for a split second that is, and after it says good night, which might be a precursor for go to sleep. Now, that was the first confirmed sighting. Sorry, not the first confirmed. That was like one of the earliest. Was that called Jeff the Killer's images? But we can go beyond, like before that as well. We even saw Jeff the Killer's picture on 16 November 2005 on a Japanese message board, and there was another picture also posted alongside it, which apparently Cecil claims he posted it, and that was supposed to be the alternate version of his original design concept. But another thing is, we know the confirmed presence of Cecil, the creator of Jeff the Killer, was on 14 August 2008 when he made a new account called Killer Jeff. So everything's kind of messed up here, and we are not even sure. And the original Jeff the Killer video was uploaded on 3rd November 2008. But yeah, that is about it. Now, there's more things that's like, so there are, to me, I think it could be one of 3 things. The first one could be that the picture is of a woman who streamed on Stickam in 2005, used /b/ as a means of promoting herself. So that story might be true. The last story, that is like where a woman named Victoria, we're still not sure if her actual name is Victoria or not, nobody could find it, used the 4chan website /b/ as a means of promoting herself. But one user took screenshot of her face, and then many of the people photoshopped it. Now the user who took screenshot, right, he or she posted it and said something like, "Am I pretty?" on the captions. One people posted it again, and in the caption it said, "Now you are." So after that the woman vanished, but still that is the most believable story. because it hasn't been debunked yet. It could be it, or it could be that the Japanese video, which was posted on 2nd August 2007, entitled NNN, some Japanese words which are saying temporary broadcast, that could be true as well because we see Jeff's face for a split second, and then there's a text that says good night. That could be it as well. Or it could be that 16 November 2005, on a Japanese message board named pya.cc, along with another image that Sasur also posted, where he claimed that the alternate version was his original design concept. So that could be true as well. So we have three different sources for Jeff's picture. We don't know which one it is, but we have uh three different sources which haven't been, what's that called, proven wrong. The others, the one where remember Katie Robinson, we were talking about her in this episode, like who allegedly committed suicide due to excessive cyberbullying after visiting 4chan slash b slash board around the year 2008. That story has been debunked, right? So that's fake. And the story where Cesure claims that he was the one wearing a latex mask, white latex mask. That story has been confirmed fake as well. So yeah, but he's the original creator of Jeff the Killer, Cesure, that is. So yeah, we don't know which one it is. So these two are fake, but the three I talked about, the three sources, those haven't been proven wrong. So if you guys want, you can dig into that and let me know which one is the actual one. Or yeah, now let's talk about the powers of Jeff the Killer. Despite being an average human, Jeff appears to wield incredible supernatural abilities that only apply to his human attributes, such as incredible strength, speed, and stealth, used to mercilessly slaughter his victims. Jeff is shown to be incredibly durable, being able to overcome his parents and brother by simply cutting them. One thing that makes him stronger is his intense hatred and bloodlust to keep him going, as well as having great stamina. In recent years, Jeff has been depicted as being a charming individual, manipulating people into trusting him only to betray them later. Okay, that was a lot of ranting from me, and I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode since it took a lot of time to write and check up on the sources. I will cover Slenderman in the next episode of Mindful Progress A Journey, and thanks for listening to it through. See you on the last week of this month again. You can search this podcast up on Facebook, Instagram. Sorry, you can search me up, Torrid Embrox, on Facebook or Instagram, and you can DM me or message me there, or you can search up Torrid Embrox on YouTube and then find my email address to email me there as well about any stories you want me to cover, and I'll try to make it possible. I'll try to cover the new story that you guys want me to cover. But for the next episode, the last week of June, I'll be covering Slenderman. Thank you so much for listening it through, and I'll see you again. It was your host, Torrid Embrox, signing off.